tonight.
Vision on second reading of the Finance Bill 2024 is as follows. Ayes 204, nays 115, abstentions nil.
Finance Bill 2024 passes the second reading stage with 204 MPs voting to approve it against 115 who voted no. And tonight, murkier than the first day, the anti-finance bill protests dominated major towns, Gen Zs leaving nothing to chance.
We don't need amendments, we need the bill to change. These other things are side shows. Vitu zenye wametoa mkate nini nini. Have you looked at the health bill?
And tonight, counting losses. Chief Inspector David Minor speaks out after losing both hands in Occupy Parliament protests.
This is the reality, is a fact, and so I will adjust accordingly.
Also tonight, Cape Media and Mount Kenya University launch a talent academy to empower creative students.
We are encouraging our youth to showcase their talents so that moving forward, you have an opportunity, you have a platform where you are able to showcase your talent.
Clearly, you can tell we have a lot to offer you tonight. And later on Insight tonight, we're going to be talking about cancer prevention and screening, as well as a few other key details, particularly about funding of cancer research and cancer treatment in the country. But that is on Insight tonight. We have our sign language interpreter tonight as Catherine Simaloy. And with that, shall we begin? Tonight, our first story. A total of 204 members of parliament have voted for the finance bill in its second reading against 115 who opposed it. The bill will now be adopted back by the Finance and Planning Committee, which will consider the proposed amendments before it's taken to the floor of the House for the third reading, in which the final vote will be taken. Anodida with that report.
Today's second reading of the 2024 Finance Bill ignited a fierce debate among members of Parliament following amendments to the contentious proposal that had driven Kenyans to protest in opposition, with 204 MPs voting to approve it against 115 who voted no.
The results of the division on second reading of the Finance Bill 2024 is as follows. Ayes 204, nays 115.
The proponents of the bill aver that this year's finance bill would undoubtedly bring about a significant transformation in the country.
Mr. Speaker, for the people who are lying in Gatondo Hospital and for the doctors who are going to treat them, I vote yes. Mr. Speaker, for the tea farmers who are in Gatondo now and other places, I vote yes.
Thousands of households in my constituency which don't have power. This bill, this budget, Mr. Speaker, it promises the people of Berno that we will be connected with power.
However, notable objections came from Obresive Langata MP Felix Odiwuor, Kisumu's Ruth Adhiambo, and Nairobi's Esther Passaris, who felt that legislatures should listen to the voices of the people.
Immediately touched around everything that touches a common person. That was the M-Pesa, the cars, the pads. And I looked back and saw the whole generation in Langata out here having their voices so loud. Even after the amendments, I had to make the choice that I've made today.
We need to ensure that we listen to the population and what they're saying.
I stand up here to reject the bill, the Finance Bill 2024. And mine is very simple. This finance bill is actually an IMF-driven finance bill.
Addressing concerns about taxation on cancer patients, Committee Chair Kimani Kuria dismissed these claims as misinformation.
I have gone through the bill, word by word, clause by clause.
Yes.
And there is absolutely nothing on this bill that mentions about conservations.
And as the debate continues, the future of the 2024 finance bill remains uncertain, with parliamentarians divided and the public watching closely, even as the bill now proceeds to the committee of the whole House. Ann Odida, TV47.
Good people, for 3 consecutive days, fierce Kenyans have vowed to remain still, with demonstrations rejecting the Finance Bill 2024. In Nairobi and other parts of the country on Thursday, the demonstrations kicked off despite huge number of police officers who came out to try to stop the rowdy Kenyans. The protesters say that they want the whole finance bill done away with and not amendments of various parts of this particular bill. Mike Kogongo with more.
For the second day in Nairobi's CBD, spirited Kenyan youth, famously appellated as Gen Z from diverse corners, converged in the capital to vehemently oppose what they deem as punitive Finance Bill of 2024. Amid escalating tensions, more joined the drones, definitely facing tear gas and water cannons, deployed by police attempting to disperse their ranks. The protesters adamantly rented the air, with the cardinal gospel fueling a rejection, demanding outright repeal of the contentious bill. Thursday afternoon witnessed over 5,000 impassioned youths flooding Nairobi's streets. Their destination, the Parliament building, where legislators debated the bill's second reading. Predominantly aged between 18 and 25 years, these demonstrators pressed on, undeterred by police efforts.
I don't even understand why the government will not rushia tear gas. Is it demonstration very peaceful? We are not destroying anything. Literally, if you go over here, hapa hivi, karibu na jamii ya Moskapo mbele, people are just demonstrating, just singing, nothing more. We don't need amendments, we need the bill to change. These other things are side shows. Vitu zenye wametoa mkate nini nini. Have you looked at the health bill? Have you looked at the land clause? Have you looked? That's nonsense. Everything must go.
The standoff persists as protesters vow to continue until their demands are met.
The police are bringing chaos into this. There is no way we can let the government kill us. The government is suffocating us.
So Gen Z have decided we're not going to fear. We're going to the streets and telling the president, if you don't wake up right now, I don't know when you'll wake up, because we have decided.
Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Tonight, thousands of Kenyans turned out to take part in the ongoing protests across the country against the 2024 Finance Bill. Protesters gathered in Nairobi, Uasin Gishu, Nakuru, Laikipia, Mombasa, and Kilifi counties. President William Ruto, who was attending a graduation ceremony at Garissa University, urged lawmakers to pass the 2024 Finance Bill.
Outside the Garissa University, President William Ruto's motorcade met by a group of protesters gathered by the roadside chanting slogans against the Financial Bill 2024 that seeks to impose additional taxes. Speaking at the graduation ceremony in Garissa University, President William Ruto urged the legislators to pass the 2024 financial bill despite the ongoing protests in the country.
The bottom-up economic transformation agenda aims to impact every Kenyan household through the effective and efficient provision of social services.
In Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County, one of President Ruto's backyards, protesters were out against the controversial bill, stating that it's oppressive to the citizens. In Nyeri and Kirinyaga counties, the protesters urged the legislature to vote against the controversial bill that they have rejected, as their duty is to represent them in parliament.
I wonder who are they representing? Whoever votes yes will go home.
The situation was similar in Nakuru County, with protesters claiming that this is the time for change for the benefit of the common man.
Ni wakati wetu sasa kuonyesha hii Kenya kwamba sisi pia tuko na akili, mmetusomesha, tuko na madigiri ya kutosha, lakini tunalala njaa.
Samira Mohamed, TV47.
Tonight, more than 300 people are reportedly nursing injuries, with 5 of them in critical condition following today's Reject the 2024 Finance Bill protests. Our reporter, Duncan Mutua, kept an eye on the police versus protester situation and relationship during the protest and filed this report. Let's take a look.
For the second day in a week, the men in uniform continue to engage the anti-finance bill in a cat-and-mouse battles within the major cities, projecting one of the busiest weeks within the month of June, injecting a new intensity into the scene. Today, Nairobi's bustling CBD became a battleground in increasingly bitter and chaotic confrontation. Similar scene of strife and discord erupted in other major cities like Nakuru, Eldoret, Kisumu, and Nyeri, each witnessing their share of heated clashes. In Nairobi, what began as a peaceful demonstration against the Finance Bill 2024.
Please, we are peaceful. Let us demonstrate in peace. Reject the Finance Bill 2024.
Swiftly deteriorated into a stark showdown between law enforcers and protesters, targeting not only journalists covering the event, but also innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire. This footage here showing a tear gas canister being directed inside a PSV vehicle. In Uru Highway, violence broke out as the security officer tried to prevent them from accessing the parliament. And those who could not run were arrested. Those who were not arrested were injured, with a total of 300 injured, 5 of them in critical condition, 3 with head injuries and 2 with rib injuries. Some parts of different region police are spotted watching from far as people were expressing their constitutional right. Duncan Mutua, TV47.
Chief Inspector David Karuri Maina, the police officer who tragically lost both his hands during the recent Occupy Parliament protests, has spoken hours after losing his hands to surgery, saying he has accepted his situation. The inspector spoke at Nairobi Hospital, where he is currently admitted. And as Chichi Josephine tells us, here is his story.
While still recuperating at Nairobi West Hospital, Chief Inspector David Karuri grimly acknowledges the harsh reality of his brush with death and prepares to confront life's challenges head-on.
This is the reality, it's a fact, and so I'll adjust accordingly, and I know life will continue as before.
The inspector, also commander of the Rapid Deployment Unit in Embakasi, delivered his sobering message from his hospital bed.
I don't know what happened.
Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Dr. Alfred Mutua visited him, emphasizing the gravity of the situation.
So we have put aside $1 million, which we hope others can add on for covering everything.
Despite his condition, Karuri emphasized the importance of protesters adhering strictly to police instructions during demonstrations, urging for calm amidst the chaos.
I would also like to say that even if we have things like protest because it's allowed in the Constitution, when people are told not to move in a certain direction because of reasons, let's adhere.
Dr. Alfred Mutua, during his hospital visit, expressed deep concern over the escalating disrespect toward law enforcement officers. He highlighted the paradox that demonstrators in moments of distress often turn to these very officers for assistance. Chichi Josephine, TV47.
And on that note, we want to take a short break. We'll be right back with more content. Please keep it right here on the home of Untold Stories.
Kila kiongozi ana hadithi yake ya kipekee.
Wazazi wangu walikuwa bit strict kwa sababu mamangu mwenyewe, mimi kutoka kuzaliwa sijailala nje.
The white small one, huyo ana sniff gunpowder na risasi na bomb. Alafu huyo mwingine ni Ridgeback ana sniff simba.
Even the employees knows that, so when in the boardroom is the chairman, the CEO and the rest of.
At what point are you a wife?
The minute you get to that inside that door, you become now the wife.
Na kila maamuzi wanayoyafanya hufichua mengi kuhusu utu wao na uongozi wao.
We see God blessing us, and we now realize the power of giving also has to be rewarded back.
Kupitia kipindi Mfahamu Kiongozi, tunakuletea mahojiano ya kusisimua na uchambuzi wa kina kuhusu viongozi wetu.
Pick your core business as the bigger stones. Put them in your diary first. Give priority to it.
Right, welcome back. If you are joining us right now, this is TV47 Daily Report coming to you live from the home of untold stories. I have a question for you. Where do you stand on what happened today and yesterday and the day before? The protests that have been going on across the country, the matter of the finance bill. Where do you stand on that? Let me know. Send in your message through the SMS line, which is on your screen. My producer will also put on your screen the WhatsApp number, which will come directly. Your messages, should you choose to send them, will come directly to me, and I'll be happy to sample them. Let me know where you're watching us from. Where do you stand on what is happening in the country tonight? Right, as we put that information together for you, I'd like to let you know that later on, just after we finish with the news, we're going to have a conversation on cancer. They say in this country, every person, or most Kenyans, are just one disease away from poverty. We know the burden of treating chronic diseases is something very, very heavy on a lot of families across the country. And that's a conversation we're going to have on just how to prevent this and how to ease that burden as well. But back to the news, and the finance bill has successfully passed the second reading after a hot debate with sharp political divisions over various clauses. The Azimio coalition has firmly rejected the bill in its entirety. But according to our senior political reporter, Elizabeth Mutuku, 204 members voted in favor of the bill, while 115 opposed it. Budget chairperson Ndindi Nyoro warned members of parliament that failing to pass the bill could lead to budget cuts, impacting their delivery. However, Azimio remains firm and plans to introduce their next steps for those they believe have betrayed the cause.
The ayes have it.
During the finance bill voting, and despite the House Speaker ruling that ayes had it, the minority side declined, which led to a division and saw 205 MPs vote yes, while 115 MPs voted no. The debate, which has lasted 2 days, saw Kenya Kwanza urging their counterparts to support the bill, arguing that failing to pass it would leave the government without sufficient funds for the budget, thereby stalling development.
The work of the Committee on Finance is to look for ways to raise money to finance the budget that has been passed. Are they saying that they were unable to look for money to finance the budget that we passed last week? If so, the logical thing, Honorable Speaker, is to do a supplementary budget. That is the only logical thing.
According to Budget and Appropriations Committee Chair Ndindi Nyoro and the Finance and National Planning Committee Chair Kimani Kuria, passing the bill is the only viable option.
I am sure with the same energy that we are speaking either for or against, we will also explain to Kenyans, the JSS teachers, I am sure those who will be voting against their confirmation to PNP, we will also explain to them, Honorable Speaker, that giving tax incentives to manufacturers leads to the growth of local manufacturing and continues with the mantle of Buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Further concerns were raised by MPs over police brutality and the handling of protests, including the use of tear gas in Parliament. Azimio MPs led by Minority Leader Opiyo Wandayi stormed out of the chambers in protest after the vote, insisting that they will continue to advocate what is right for Kenyans.
As Azimio coalition, we have stood our ground. Yes. And the public have seen for themselves. Yes. Those who are with them and those who are against them. Yes. And I want to say that this is not the end. Yes. This journey has just started. Yes. As you can see, we are taking a vote, and the police are battling young innocent Kenyans out here.
In gassing Parliament, we have gone a law, but this is the extreme law that we have actually gone through. Secondly, we want the government to know, one of the things they may not be telling people here, that the children of members of Parliament from both divides are the ones in that mandamano. If you are a listening government, please take action.
Minority Whip Junet Mohammed expressed regret over the events surrounding the bill's passage, stating they will announce the next move tomorrow, especially on members who betrayed their cause as a coalition.
You can see how Parliament is operating. It's about voting, it's about numbers. And they are even, I'm shocked, there are members on our side who even voted for the bill. That shocked me even more than anything else. So anyway, we will, we will give out the way forward.
After the controversial Finance Bill 2024 has sailed through in the second reading, now the most crucial bit will be in the Committee of the Whole House, where members will be voting each and every clause, as well as introduction of more amendments by members. Elizabeth Mutuko, TV47 Proceedings, Nairobi.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Now, Cape Media, the parent company of TV47 and Radio 47, has today launched the Cape Media Talent Academy in collaboration with Mount Kenya University. The Talent Academy aims to support students in exploring their creative potential and assist in building their careers. Sheila Chelangant with the details.
Cape Media, the parent company of TV47 and Radio 47, in collaboration with Mount Kenya University, has launched the Cape Media Talent Academy.
We've sent out a call for action for all the youth out there to send their videos, to send their voice, a spoken voice, anything you believe can be showcased as a talent, and we'll give you an opportunity for training.
According to the letter of agreement between MKU and Cape Media Limited, Mount Kenya University will provide the Cape Media Talent Academy with creative content as developed by you, the students.
We commit to the provision of gratis license and classification waivers to the students for educational purposes in line with the law.
The partnership with Mount Kenya University is seen as the first step in Cape Media's vision to expand and reach other institutions across the country.
We are encouraging our youth to showcase their talents so that moving forward, you have an opportunity, you have a platform where you are able to showcase your talent.
Students were elated as they interacted with various anchors and show hosts from TV47 and Radio 47, gaining first-hand insights from the in-house talent.
They have a platform now that they can be able to talk and their talents can be able to grow and be noticed.
And since we have signed it in front of these young people, can you young people put pressure on these two institutions so that you can unlock and take yourself to the marketplace through this particular interaction?
The Cape Media Talent Academy has continued to be celebrated as a gateway to a world of endless possibilities. For the students, the anticipation to explore these opportunities is palpable. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
With the ongoing demonstrations on the Finance Bill 2024 in the country, President William Ruto, on the other hand, graced the University of Garissa's graduation ceremony. We're talking about the 5th graduation ceremony, where he offered the university 200 acres for agricultural development within Garissa County. Speaking at the event, the head of state said that the Kenya Kwanza government will provide 660 billion shillings to cover every child's education in the country. Nonetheless, the Cabinet Secretary for Defence, Aiden Duale, attended the ceremony and assured citizens that he will not allow any forces of terror to return to the people of Kenya.
We have to accelerate sustainable development, enhance food security, and improve the well-being of all through inclusive growth. It is the reason why this morning I have approved the acquisition of 200 acres of the Agricultural Development Corporation land in Garissa for use by Garissa University. Let me also confirm to the